The tarot cards were actually a pack of playing cards used in the 15th century, where people played games like tarocchini or French tarot, many of which are played even to this day. But it was around the 18th century that a man named Comte de Gibelin wrote a book on tarot and traced its history to the ancient Egypt. But amongst the English-speaking countries, where these games are not played as frequently, tarot cards are used primarily for predicting and helping purposes, using specially designed pack of tarot cards. Tarot has had its links to the Kabbalah and the Indian Tantra also. If you see the tarot card reading, it has a scientific bend to it. The tarot card deck is a series of coordinated systems which can map the emotional states of mind. We use the pip cards, which tell us about the mundane happenings in our lives as the events that happen to us. The court cards will represent the person or the people concerned. And the major arcana will represent the actual knowledge or the hidden knowledge that is behind the situation that a person experiences. So the kind of tarot decks that are used, many occultists so claim that the tarot is a mix of everything. It evolved using humanity's most advanced mystical heritages over time. But in 1785, to be precise, a French occultist became the first self-professed professional tarot card reader. Many teachers since have claimed the cards can actually be meditated upon to arrive at some answers. They also have been used for psychological analysis. Carl Jung saw the cards as a way to represent the archetype of mankind. Somewhere, people also use tarot as a form of therapy where they seek guidance as a means to choose the path that further need to tread upon. So where initially tarot would be used to entertain the elite masses, now it is taken seriously to guide people who actually need help. The various decks that we use are the Rider-Waite deck. This is one of the most popular tarot cards. It was published originally in 1909. The deck also goes by the other name like the Waite-Smith, Rider-Waite-Smith, or Rider deck. The deck has 78 cards. These cards studied and interpreted the readers primarily to speak of a person's life story. The oracle cards. These are the more freewheeling cards. These cards can be used just to see what exactly a person is going through. The pictures depict what the person is seeing, and also there are some writings on it where the reader can actually see what it is and help the person out. The Gypsy Tarot, according to a legend, travelers looked upon for help and often seek advice from the traveling gypsies who use these cards to help guide them. A gypsy told of two things that had to be kept in mind. One was the image that revealed the feeling of the person seeking advice, and the other one was the memories he held in his heart. The Gypsy Tarot deck may have maybe 36 or even sometimes 40 cards. Usually we use the Rider-Waite Tarot deck because it is something that is used to help people in completion. It has 78 cards. The cards are numbered using Roman numericals. From 0 to 21 are the major arcana, that is the hidden or the old knowledge. All the kings, queens, knights, and pages are the court cards which depict the people concerned. So we have around 16 court cards. The rest 40 are the pip cards, which tell us about the mundane day-to-day happenings in our lives. There are 4 groups of cards. Okay, that is the swords, which attribute the intelligence of the situation or the person. The wands, the creative attributes of a person again and of the situation. The cups, that is the human attributes or the emotions that a person carries, or maybe the emotional state of mind with regards to the situation. And pentacles, it is attributed to the material benefits and the wealth that the person wants to accumulate or already has. So there are different types of readings, and the first one is the divination tarot reading. So cartomancy is fortune telling or divination using the deck of cards. People have always and will always be seekers. We are always seeking, isn't it? So it's this seeking for the different answers that led people to tarot card readers to get answers for what there was in their mind and their hearts. Forms of cartomancy appeared soon after playing with the cards in the 14th century. Psychological tarot is another form of reading. As said earlier, a deck of cards which was used to playing games earlier led to fortune telling and guiding people in their day-to-day life. This had a psychological aspect too. It helped people dealing with their innermost feelings and desires, and maybe sometimes psychological traumas too. The pictures on the cards helped reveal the nature of the person, the situation he was going through sometimes, and what may come his way. This helped him deal with the psychological aspect of the day-to-day happening in the person's life. Then again, we have another device that the tarot uses, that is a mnemonic device. This is the art of memory, okay? It is the mnemonic technique. So when the cards came into being, they were full of beautiful images, ones that were not easy to forget. And these images stayed in the memories of the people and the readers. They could build stories and visualize the entire life of the person based on these images. Then we have the relationship reading, which is one of the most important, I feel. Love is one of the greatest and most important human needs. This is also one of the most frequently asked about questions when a person goes to a reader. The most common relationship spread is the 3-card love spread. Here it talks about you, your partner, the dynamics of the relationship. Apart from this, we also have the 5-card spread, where the cards reveal your role, your partner's role, the past foundation, the present status. So in short, a deck of tarot cards can enable you to do so much more than just playing a game of cards. It's up to you to what you want to do with the deck of cards available. And it can help us arrive at making certain decisions that we may otherwise have been confused about. It is a device, or rather a tool, that guides us in a certain direction. And a lot of people who are confused about a relationship or a job, or sometimes even about finances, they can seek advice and get help completely. So here, tarot is a perfect tool to provide us what can simplify our lives in many ways. So the different types of tarot spreads that I will talk about today are basically 3. The first one, and the most popular one, being the Celtic Cross. It's a 10 card spread. The first card is the person asking the question, or the situation of the person asking the question. The second card is the obstacles the person is facing right now in the given situation. The third card is the best that can be expected of the situation. The fourth card shows us the basis or the foundation as to why that situation occurred in the first place. The fifth card talks about the past and what led to this. The sixth card is the present situation or the current scenario and how we are probably dealing with it. The seventh card is the future. The eighth card is the family and the support we are expected to receive from the family. The ninth card is the subconscious mind. It talks about our fears or maybe something that is there in our subconscious and it may not necessarily be true. And the 10th card is the final outcome. That is, whatever we may do with the situation, probably it will all lead to this. Similarly, we also have the horseshoe spread, which is a 7-card V-shaped spread. Here, the first card is the past, the second card is the present, the third card is the future, the fourth card is the best course of action, the fifth card is the other people involved in the situation, the sixth card is the obstacles, and the seventh card is the final outcome. Then again, we have a 4-card spread where we shuffle the cards, we spread them out, okay, and then we randomly pick up 4 cards. If any of the readers is using the 4-card spread, it's usually for, like, when you have these kind of questions like, should I choose this job over the other? So you just take out these 4-card spreads, you decide which one is the best for you. Or maybe you can use it when you need a timeline guidance. Tarot card reading comes under the occult sciences. By occult, I mean magical or mystical. The cards really have a mystical way of revealing the stories and unfolding what may be in store for us. In a way, reading can provide amazing guidelines to this one seeking answers and to the many questions that he has in mind. The cards have a magical way of connecting our past, present, and our future. A tarot card reader is actually just using the tarot cards as a tool to say what he has to say through his power of intuition. So when a seeker or when a person asking the questions comes to a reader, the reader will actually spread out the cards but will use his intuition. If the reader is really intuitive, he can see the person's past and he can guide the person as to what is coming. Sometimes they can even see something that is going to happen. And even though the person is not aware that this could be a possibility or a possible outcome, the reader may be having the ability. So in a way, this is like a complete guiding tool. The reader is also intuitive enough sometimes to guide a person and say that, suppose a reader has seen that there is going to be a death in the family, or the person is going to meet with an accident. Now, how will a reader convey this through the cards? It's a very difficult situation for the reader. The person has to actually be very, very subtle in conveying this to the person if it's not a nice card. So when a seeker or when a person comes to a reader asking a question, the way the question is framed is also of a great importance. Because if a person is specific, the question is specific, then the reading that comes in the cards will be accurate. But if it's a random question, like say, suppose a person comes and says that, I want to, which job should I take? But he is not asking the reader that, there is this specific job and will this job be good for me? So that could be a more specific question. But if he asks randomly that, which job or which career path should I take? It's such a broad question for the reader to answer. So framing the question properly while going to the reader makes a lot of difference and helps the reader get an accurate answer. What we can achieve by tarot: observation, acceptance, and surrender. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So this requires you to be quite an observer, isn't it? One of the major traits to have if we want to go forward in life and develop our inner self, learn to observe everything around us. Right from what happens in nature to the behavior of people, we should observe everything. This is one of the greatest learning methods available to us. That's why many times we say that it's life that is your real teacher. In this, we will actually know what the people are really capable of in a given situation. The reader is not only listening to you or to what you are saying, but is also observing how you see it. Cultivating and observing nature opens up your intuitive mind. It makes you more mindful. Then again, being an observer allows us to become a more accepting person. Many a times in life, situations may arise over which you have no control. It's best to accept and see what you can do in the given situation. It's only when one accepts things that one can stop complaining about what's not so nice in their life and open up a newer avenue for themselves. If we take the step of accepting, then we can also get in the attitude of surrendering. When this happens, we are ready and happy with anything that is happening with us. We have completely surrendered to the higher power, and we trust that power completely, and we trust that everything that is happening is for the highest good. And trust me, this is the most liberating feeling, the most liberating and the most peaceful feeling a person can have.